Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary of Defense.
Please take your seats. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a real pleasure for us to be here today with the set of distinguished visitors that we have. Of course, Secretary of Defense has decided to spend a couple of hours with us in the headquarters today, but most importantly, I know that he wanted to have a chance to spend some time with all of you. And what I have reminded him walking in the door is that he is about to meet with a group of award winners, a group of highly trained professionals. All of you are here because your leadership has chosen you as great representatives because of the wonderful jobs that all of you are doing. And Mr. Secretary, you have a group of our great enlisted people here. You've got some of our officers here, and you also have some of our civilian outstanding performers as well. Also with us today are the senior senator from Nebraska, Senator Nelson. Sir, it's good to see you. Senator from Nebraska, Senator Johans, and of course our own Congressman Lee Terry from our district here. Gentlemen, it is a real pleasure to have all of you here as well. And so we have had a great couple of hours with the Secretary. As you would expect, we found him particularly interested in the activities of Strategic Command, but not only that, the 55th Reconnaissance Wing, and of course the Air Force Weather Agency. And we almost reminded him about the Air Force Weather Agency when we landed today. Of course, it was raining, and so we almost said that that the weather agency hadn't done its job. But then I reminded him that we have that kind of weather for all of our distinguished visitors, so that was good. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce again the senior senator from Nebraska, Senator Ben Nelson, for a further introduction. Sir?
Well, first of all, thank you, General Kaler, for the pleasure of being here today and for working with you as the STRATCOM commander. Warm working relationship, one that will continue into the future. And Mr. Secretary, you know that you're visiting a remarkable base engaged in safeguarding America's national security. Our interests are important, and this facility is strongly supporting them. The Fighting 55th and Strategic Command have a notable history dating back to their Cold War roots. Since STRATCOM was created in 1992, its missions have continued to grow. Today, they include nuclear deterrence, protecting space, thwarting cyber attacks, global strike, combating weapons of mass destruction, overseeing missile defenses, providing real-time battlefield intelligence, and more. And there's no doubt that STRATCOM is critical to our national security. The 55th Wing has an equally laudable history. Since its early days as the 55th Fighter Group escorting bombers during World War II, the Fighting 55th has led the fight and continues to in today's world of constant change. Don't you love the slogan, "The sun never sets on the 55th"? As a premier intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and electronic attack unit in the DoD, the 55th Wing relies on 7 different airframes for its missions. These critical missions succeed only because of the talented people here, from frontline supervisors to maintenance aircrew and to the support teams. Here at Offutt, as General Kaler noted, we also have members of the Air Force Weather Agency, and they're quick to point out they only predict it, they're not responsible for it. They cover the globe and deliver weather products to Air Force and Army warfighters, unified commands, national programs, and national command authorities. Working 24 hours a day, the agency's dedicated men and women build the world's most comprehensive weather database of observation forecast and space weather products available to those who have such great need. They ensure that operators have the world's best weather information, giving the combat winning edge. And it's an honor to be with all of you today. And as you may know, Secretary Panetta also has an exceptional record of service. Stretching back more than 40 years, like many in this room, his service started in the military. He served as an Army intelligence officer and then went on to serve as a multi-term congressman, the chairman of a committee, director of the OMB, and chief of staff to a president. Most recently, he was the director of the CIA, where he spearheaded the notable mission to take down Osama bin Laden. Needless to say, he's familiar with the sacrifice of our military, our civilians, and their families. Now, as you all know, back in Washington, we've just completed a long and contentious debate over the debt ceiling and cutting spending. How could you have missed it, even when you wanted to? While bringing down the debt remains priority number one, we won't shortchange essential projects such as replacement of the aging and outdated STRATCOM headquarters, which the Secretary has seen firsthand, which is still on track, I might add, and I agree with Secretary Panetta as well, that we must be smart and strategic and surgical with the DoD budget. We must not hollow out our military with this new debt budget deal. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is truly my great pleasure and honor to introduce the 23rd Secretary of Defense, Leon Panetta. Mr. Secretary.
Thank you very much. Senator Ben Nelson, someone I've had the good fortune to work with actually when he started as governor. I think it was chief of staff at the time is when we first met, and I've worked with him ever since in various capacities. Senator Johans, nice to have you here as well. I know that he too provides a tremendous amount of support for the military mission here as well. And Senator Terry, this is your home, or Congressman Terry, this is your home territory. When I was a member of Congress, I represented several military facilities in Monterey, California, had the Navy Postgraduate School, the Defense Language Institute, and at that time I had Fort Ord Military Reservation, which went through a BRAC process and is now, we converted it to a university, California State University system in Monterey Bay. So I'm very familiar with the responsibilities of a member of Congress trying to serve a military community. It's a tremendous benefit to the community, but more importantly, it's an honor to be able to serve individuals who represent the national defense of this country. So thank you for all of the support all of you in the delegation provide for this mission. We really appreciate it and look forward to your continuing support. This is it's a real treat to be able to come here to Offutt Air Force Base and right here in the middle of Omaha. I've had a chance to come to Nebraska a number of times. When I was a member of Congress, I was also, besides being on the Budget Committee, was also a member of the Agriculture Committee. So I had a chance to come out and do hearings with some of my fellow members from Nebraska who represented the agriculture community here. And as some of you may know, my father, who was in the restaurant business, then bought a farm in Carmel Valley. And so I spent an awful lot of time on that farm. Worked very hard because my parents believed that child labor was a requirement. He planted a walnut orchard. It's a great story. I did. Planted a walnut orchard, and walnuts got, you know, as they grew, my father used to go around with a pole and hook to shake the branches. These days, when you've got walnut trees, they now put a band around the tree and shake the whole tree. But in those days, he'd go around with a pole and hook and shake each of the branches. And my brother and I used to be underneath picking the walnuts. When I got elected to Congress, my Italian father said, you know, you've been well trained to go to Washington because you've been dodging nuts all your life. Still the case.